Hello, my name's Phil. I'm 46 years of age and I've been married for 21 years and I have 5 children, and pretty much most of the time I've been married I've been a Christian. So it's been a few years now, but I do remember very much what I was like before I was a Christian. I remember the kind of person I was. I remember where my interests lay, and very, very different from where I am now. Before I was a Christian, I was very selfish. I was quite a bully. I was a liar, and I was a thief. There's really no need to butter it up any other way. I wouldn't think twice about stealing from my employers. And anything I wanted that I could get my sticky fingers on, I would quite happily help myself to, on the premise that I needed it, therefore it was good for me. I also was as I said, I was a bully. I would push people around. I pushed my girlfriend around. I was not nice, really, by any standards. I was not a nice guy. So what changed? Well, about 24 years ago I met a very lovely lady called Angela, who we decided that we wanted to get married. We were sort of exploring a lot of spiritual things, or rather Angela was exploring the spiritual things and I was just sort of observing from a distance. But we met some lovely people who were Christians, and their life was different, and we observed this. Now, we happened to be expecting our first daughter, Amber, and they were expecting their first daughter, Hannah, at the time, and Rick and Sharon graciously shared their lives with us. They opened up their home to us. They showed us love, and they spent loads of time. They lavished time on us. And they were real friends to us, and they shared that what was different in their lives was basically they had a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Angela and I observed that they were at peace. They were always thankful. They were always joyful, and things just seemed to go very well for them. Whereas we were struggling, we would fight, bicker, we were exceedingly poor, and even when we had plenty, it just seemed to fall through our fingers like nobody's business. And so it was very clear to Angela and I that they had something we didn't. They invited us to a church meeting 3 weeks after Angela and I got married. We were married. Amber was already 5 months old at this time. And we went to this church meeting, which was an occasion where a preacher had come from London to visit our hometown. And I just remember the abiding presence of God at that time. I just didn't know what it was called at that moment in time, but I just was really struck by the fact that there was somebody greater than I present during this meeting. I didn't really get everything that was said, but I remember during the worship there was a song that was sung which spoke of the Father heart of God and his love for children, and his children specifically. And I got a sense that he wanted me to be his child. I couldn't really explain it. I couldn't put my finger on why that particularly related to me, not sat right there and then, but I knew it did. And at the end of the meeting, Angela went up because she wanted to ask for people to pray for her, and I went up also a few minutes behind Angela, and she turned to me and said, "Why are you here?" And I said, "I want to give my life to God." In the moment it seemed like the right thing to do, but it was just such a strong sense that God's love was very, very real, and would fill a void in my life, something that I didn't have at that time. I went forward, was prayed for. We had some very strange and interesting experiences at the moment at which we accepted God into our lives. We accepted that Jesus was Lord from the teachings that we'd seen and heard at that time. And we asked God to take our lives and make us new and change us. And he did. There's no two ways about it. In the course of the following months, we experienced some miraculous changes. Things that were going on in our family, issues that simply we were incapable of resolving ourselves, were resolved because God's grace came into the situation. We found that situations that we were incapable of being nice in, God gave us a supernatural ability to be nice and to be loving, to love one another in a way that we were not capable of doing in ourselves. Our fortunes changed. My work started getting much better, more stable, my work situation, more stable, better paid. And we had a peace that was unexplainable, but was very genuine and very deep and very rich. And as we threw ourselves upon God, as we started to read more of the scriptures, as we became more and more integrated with the life of other Christians in the town, learning more about what it was to be a follower of Jesus, we came to realise that we'd turned a corner in our lives. Things would never be the same again. We would never think the way that we used to do. We would not be futile in our minds the way that we used to be. And we had hope within us. So, situations, we still had difficult situations to face up to. But we knew that because we had Jesus Christ living in us as part of our lives, and I speak obviously for myself in that, I knew deep in my heart that I had a hope that transcended my circumstances, and that God would continue to look after me and the things that matter to me, the people I loved, my family, and my friends, and we would see good times. We would have joy in our lives. And I can say 21, getting on for 22 years later, my opinion has not changed. I truly trust Jesus for everything. He's more than just a friend. He's the Lord of our life, and he's the reason we go on doing what we do. And I can't tell you everything in the short space of time I've got here, but it's suffice to say, it's a decision I have no regrets about taking, and I would wholeheartedly recommend that you, watching this, give some serious consideration to what a difference it would make to your life to have Jesus as the Lord of your life, as the one who transforms you from the inside. You allow him in, and he turns that which is terrible and non-productive, and he changes it as you allow him to, into something that is graceful, wonderful, loving, and very, very wonderful. So there you have it. That's my testimony.